By now, you've probably seen that UK climber Will Bosi is in Finland projecting the V17 9A boulder, Burden of Dreams. But he's not the only one in Finland attempting to repeat the world's hardest boulder. 2 other pro climbers have joined him in Finland: Japanese climber Toru Nakajima and a US climber that's rumored to be there, and we can confirm now that those rumors are true. More on that in just a second. There's also an Italian climber flying to Finland shortly, so we have a lot of exciting news to cover. In all, we'll talk about 6 climbers who are currently projecting Burden of Dreams, either on a replica or on the real thing. First up is UK climber Will Bosi. We've been able to see his climbing on Burden of Dreams thanks to his live streams of his first 3 sessions on the real rock. He continues to provide updates on Instagram. Let's look at his session 5 and 6 update. If you want to learn more about his progress on previous sessions, check out this link here. Okay, so for session 5, we see Will talking about 2 primary things, his skin and the weather. So let's take a look here. Burden of Dreams session 5 update. Skin and weather have been bad, so I spent most of the session training with tape on. I did the last section quite a few times and spent a bit of time on the heel beta again. Hard to say which beta is better at the moment. I'm feeling good overall, so I've decided to extend my trip. Good news. A little and hopefully grow some skin. And you can see here his beard is looking amazing. I think that will definitely help him send. Now let's take a look at his session 6 update. Will says, I took this as a training session, starting with tape on 3 fingers. You can see how much his fingers are taped up here. Mostly spent time on the top and did the last move about 10 times. Also worked a bit more on the heel beta as it's nice on the skin. I think it's the easiest way, but seems very low percentage. Thanks to, this is Toru for the session, and 10 points if anyone can see what's wrong in this video. I'm not sure if you are able to tell here. I was not able to pick this out, but you see in the comments someone determined it was that Will had his shoes switched around, so the right shoe is on the left foot and vice versa. I think this has something to do with the heel hook that he was trying and maybe fresh rubber on the shoe for that beta. If we scroll down, we also see a comment of someone asking whether the videos for these sessions would be going up on YouTube at some point. And there's a reply here from Will. He says sessions 4 and 5 were filmed properly and will be hopefully uploaded. Session 6 I filmed most of and will cut down, but I don't have Wi-Fi, so not sure when I'll post. But good to know that even though right now we're just seeing these short clips on Instagram, we may see a longer video on Will's YouTube channel at some point showing these sessions. Let's hope that Will can get some good weather and fresh skin for send attempts soon. He has essentially climbed this boulder in 2 separate parts, so let's see what happens. You saw this next climber standing by in Will's post here, Japanese climber Toru Nakajima. Though we haven't seen any live streams or lengthy videos of Toru climbing Burden of Dreams, we do learn quite a bit from his Instagram updates. What's incredible is that Toru has been projecting this climb over several years and multiple trips to Finland. Let's take a look at his most recent update on Instagram. So here Toru is talking about his session 13 through 15 on Burden of Dreams. He says, I came back to the boulder. I came alone this time, but I'm having a very good time with Will Bosi and L. Duffield. Honestly, I was somehow shocked at how strong Will is, but at the same time, their positive power encouraged me very much. I decided to spend the first week practicing each move and not try from the beginning. I've been working on this problem for 4 years already, and that's awesome to see that commitment. And yet I am still discovering new tips on this. Perhaps there are still new discoveries to be made. I'm sure those discoveries will lead me to success. The weather in Lappnor, where this boulder is, has never been better this time, and there are not many chances I can get. Nevertheless, I feel now that I'm really lucky to be able to have such a great time in Finland, being passionate about the boulder like this. It appears that his trip might be coming to a close, but it's awesome to see that Toru is more committed than ever to sending this boulder. Check out what he shared here on Instagram. Thank you all for your support. I will never give up until I succeed. Also, thank you guys for having such a good time during the trip and inspiring me a lot. Okay, do you see the two people in this photo? One is Will Bosi, and the other is the third climber that we'll talk about, Shawn Raboutou. So I've been seeing in the comments, some people were saying maybe he was there, maybe he wasn't, but now we can confirm, we have photographic evidence that Shawn Raboutou is there with Will Bosi and Toru projecting Burden of Dreams again. There are 2 amazing videos on Shawn's YouTube channel of him projecting Burden of Dreams late last year. It appeared at that time that the weather was not very good. You can see in some of these videos the tarp that he has placed over the boulder. But regardless, he did make some remarkable progress on Burden of Dreams, so it's great to see him there again. Be sure to head over to his YouTube channel to check out his full-length videos on this. It's super exciting to see him out there again, and hopefully we'll get a progress update soon on this current trip. There's a 4th climber who has booked tickets to Burden of Dreams, but real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to this channel, August Climbing. And no, I don't only go climbing in August. My name is August, hence the channel name. And I also look forward to interacting with you in the comments. We now get to talk about world-renowned Italian climber Stefano Ghisolfi, who has been training on 2 different replicas of Burden of Dreams. The first was on the replica that Aidan Roberts set at Lattice Training. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But we also saw that Stefano went live recently and was doing another session on a replica, this time in Italy. So it turns out there's more than one replica, and Stefano is definitely preparing well for his upcoming trip. And it seems that he's on his way to Finland. Let's talk about that. He was originally saying that he would book a trip to Finland once he reached 100,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. Recently, he amended that a little bit, saying that maybe that was a bit ambitious, and now that if he gets 80,000 subscribers, then he will book a trip. So let's see if he's reached that. Let's head over to Stefano Ghisolfi's YouTube channel, and it does appear here that he is at 80.1 thousand subscribers. And if we head back over to his Instagram page, we further find an update where he's sharing he has indeed reached 80K subs on YouTube. And he's got this little section down here showing on the 2nd of April, he's got a trip booked to Helsinki. So we have confirmation here. Stefano is going to be joining these guys on the real Burden of Dreams. And I can't wait to see how he does. The world's best climbers are converging on Finland in an attempt to climb Nalle Hukkataival's masterpiece. I, for one, am hooked. This is me checking Instagram every 2 seconds to see if there's an update. Next up is UK climber Aidan Roberts, who in the past several months has been sending some of the world's hardest boulder problems. Aidan is also the climber who set the replica of Burden of Dreams at Lattice Training from some of the measurements and 3D scans that he took of the real rock in Finland. It's pretty cool that we're getting to see this behind the scenes of how professional climbers are training for their projects. In a recent interview on the Nugget Climbing podcast, Aidan noted that he had not yet sent the replica and that it was probably harder than the real thing. Aidan also talked here about some vague plans to return to Burden of Dreams in person this spring. He spoke very highly of Shawn Raboutou and noted that he might meet up with Shawn to project this climb again. And well, we found out that Shawn is there, so let's hope that Aidan goes to join the party soon. At number 6, we have Russian climber Vadim Timonov. Late last year, we saw Vadim film a video on the Climb Hub YouTube channel where he was at the boulder, Burden of Dreams, taking measurements for a replica that he could train on back home. He did also test out a few positions on the wall while he was there. In this episode number 2, we see him using the measurements to set a replica at a climbing gym in St. Petersburg. He didn't have anything fancy like 3D scans, but was able to recreate the climb on a moon board with similar holds for something he could train on, and it was fun to see his training and progress on this replica. Now, I did wonder if there were any progress updates, so I reached out to Vadim on the Climb Hub YouTube channel, and I got a response, I assume from him. He said, "I climbed a replica a couple of months ago, even after making it a little more complicated. Unfortunately, I can't get to Finland right now. The game is temporarily over for me. Hopefully that will change for Vadim in the future, and I wish him all the best on his other climbing projects. You can learn even more about Burden of Dreams from these 2 videos, and be sure to check out all of these climbers on their social media pages for the incredible content that they have, as well as to get notified in case they go live on Burden of Dreams. Hey, my name is August. Thank you so much for watching.